Today's message.
And God is faithful, reliable, trustworthy, dependable, and ever true to his word. If God said it, brothers and sisters, homies, you can take it to the bank.
Dr. Phillip Goudeaux.
2 Kings 2:10. He said, thou have asked a what kind of thing? A hard thing. Listen to me, because the devil is not going to make it easy for you to walk and experience God's supernatural miracle-working power on your behalf. Y'all believe that? Yes. Push your neighbor and tell him, you better listen to this. Tell him, you better listen. The enemy does not want you to experience supernatural things, because when God does something supernatural for you, everybody going to know he did it for you. Some of you ain't going to have to tell nobody. They're going to know he did it for you. Look what it says here. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, because it ain't that too big for God not to do it. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto you. But if not, it shall not be so. And then verse 11 says, and it came to what? Yes. And it came to what? Yes. You need to underline that. And it came to pass as they still went on. It says, and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, underline a chariot of fire, and a horses of fire. Ain't that something? A chariot of fire and horses of fire. And it says, and parted them both asunder. And it says, and Elijah went up by a what? Whirlwind into heaven. Now, if that ain't supernatural, I don't know what is. I mean, that almost sounds like it's a science fiction movie. Something. Chariots of fire and horses of fire, and then a whirlwind or twister comes down and then pulls them up into that area. That is supernatural. But God is a supernatural God. And a supernatural God likes doing what? Can you believe with me today that God can do something supernatural for you in your life? I'm asking you a question. Can you believe that God can do something supernatural for you in your life? God
So I like the fact that Elijah is supernatural, prophet of God. He's letting Elisha know, you got to stick around. You got to be doing what you're supposed to do, because I can't tell you when I'm getting ready to take off. He's basically saying it's a hard thing because, I can't tell you when this is going to happen. So what happened was, it said, and it came to pass he said, it came to pass that as they went on and talked, that behold. So after he told them, you got to be there. You just got to be in the right position. You don't know exactly when this thing is going to happen. Now, if you're not there, when it happens, you're just going to get left out. But if you're lined up and if you're there, so he just said, and so what you do, once God gives you the promise, when God is getting ready to do it and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're lining yourself up. You're just still going on. And they still went and they talked, and then bam.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
What'd you say? They just kept going. And bam, before they knew it, there came these chariots of fire, or the supernatural just took place. But they were in the right place at the right time. They didn't stop. They kept doing what God...
And he had faith. Come on, y'all. He had faith because Elijah spoke it out by faith. That if you do this, you will receive this. So then Elijah didn't stay around here, and they kept saying, well, now, I've got to encourage you, and, you got to just stay in there and hang on in there, boy. Elijah said, and they went. Look at me. And they went, and as they went, the power of God fell. Because now we're walking by and not by. And so now that they're walking, and as they're walking and as they're obeying, the power of God fell. Y'all ever heard of Jesus? Y'all heard of Jesus? Jesus and the disciples are walking, and as they're walking, Jesus and the disciples walking, Jesus sees a tree on the side and said, and looked for some figs on the tree, and when he didn't see any, he said, I curse you. And from the roots, And then Jesus, with the disciples, just took them and just kept on walking. The tree didn't change.
Right.
It was still green. It was still looking the same. But Jesus already saw it by faith in the power of God, the supernatural working, that if I spoke it, it's going to happen.